Hello and welcome to another beautiful day. It is Outnumbered, reaching you live and direct from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Nigeria. My name is Ramsey Enoch. And of course, I have Antonia Nwokolo right here. Good morning, Antonia.
Good morning, Ramsey. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Good to
And
hear
you?
that. I'm very well,
That's
thank you.
beautiful. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Ekene
Good morning, Ramsey.
How you
Good morning,
doing?
Michael. Today he
morning,
called
Tony.
your name in full.
Full.
I just have to call it in full today because it's a full day. It's going to be a full day.
And because I'm on green color.
And he's on green representing Nigeria, like he's celebrating
Tinubu's
1 year in office. All right, let's take you to the headlines that we have for the day, beginning from the Vanguard newspaper. Here we have this one which says 6 things Tinubu must do to succeed. Atiku is the one saying that. Details read on page 9. Kano Emirate tussle, that's the kicker. The story says that courts give conflicting orders on Sanusi's removal. Details read on page 15. The Tinubu effect, 365 days on. Tinubu's bitter, sweet run. Okay, details read on page 19. And now to the big story. A strike looms as minimum wage talks end in deadlock again. Some riders to that story, actually. The first rider says the federal government OPS add 3,000 to earlier offers. The second one says the Labour challenges government to break down offer. A nationwide strike appears inevitable in June. Organized labor's demand may endanger job security. OPS is the one saying that. The increment is just 3,000. I don't know what they mean. I don't know what they are waiting for. How would you just be increasing this thing 3,000, 3,000? Well, let the needful be done. You know what to do already. I think from the negotiation, the federal government already knows what to do. But I wonder why this thing is lingering. You know how much is going to be lost if this strike action is being embarked on, and it depends on how long. All right, let's see what's going to happen. 60,000 naira, 35, 48, 58, 60,000. All right. Let's see how that's going to end. Wale Dume is saying something here. He said federal government now has enough to clear debts. That's coming from Wale Edun. Biafra Day, that's the kicker of the story. IPOP insists on May 30 sit at home in Southeast. That's on page 11. You know what happens when this sit at home happens. Well, I don't know, but then this agitation, I don't know what is really going to bring to the table if you stop people from carrying out their daily activities. All right, finally from here, 2026 World Cup qualifier, Osimhen out of South Africa, Benin Republic games. All right, and that's going to be the last one coming from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Over to you, Antonia, for the next paper.
All right, thank you, Ramsey. Let's take a look at the Guardian newspaper this morning. The big story we have here, opposition loyalist bicker over Tinubu's performance outlook. And that's on page 6. The next headline we have, another strike looms as Labour rejects federal government's fresh 60,000 naira wage offer. That's on news page 6. And on page 16, we have where is President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda? That's an editorial. 4,416 persons killed, 4,334 abducted under Tinubu, report reveals. That's on news page 3. Now, looking at this, a lot of reports are coming in, being filed as the president is commemorating his 1 year in office. As much as some persons are giving a pass mark, some others have a lot to say as regards the level of insecurity, the inflation in the country, and the overall state of the economy as of now, looking at his when he came into office and after 1 year. Kanu royal crisis gets messier as courts issue conflicting orders. Now, the tension in Kanu is increasing day by day, and you can find that story on page 9. And for the picture story, we have something about President Tinubu's 1 year administration, also highlighting the 8 priority areas of the renewed hope agenda. To get the details of that, do pick a copy of the Guardian newspaper. Over to you, Michael.
Thank you, Antonia. Straight to the Nation's newspaper. Today, we have 3 headers in the nation's economy growing, says Edu. one writer to that story, 75 million to get cash transfers. So does it mean 75 million people in Nigeria to get cash transfers?
I think they said 75,000 naira each for each person.
For each person.
75 million.
But who are these
Who are
persons?
these persons?
How did they draw up the data?
Yeah.
Yes, how do they get the people to get this transfer? Because we all need this transfer. To the next headline on the nation's newspaper, Oyetola, we've raised marine revenue by 92%. You can find our details on page 6. And the next story, Ondo APC primary, my respect for Tinubu absolute, says Jimo. You can get that story on page 43. Another rider, MI crisis, conflicting orders of court in Kano. MI crisis, conflicting orders of court in Kano. You can get that story on page 8 of the Nation. And the big story today is 1 year of the Tinubu administration, building a safer, stronger, and prosperous Nigeria. I think what we want to look at is the dividends of 1 year in his office, the significance of Tinubu so far. Every Nigerian has a conflicting opinion about this. And when someone is given a pass mark, is that a pass mark on the whole citizenry or from the APC caucus? All right, you can get that gist on the Nation newspaper. Make sure you pick a copy today. Back to you, Ramsey.
All right, thank you very much, Michael, for those headlines. Let's quickly bring you to speed with the headlines from the Daily Trust newspaper, beginning from the big story. Conflicting court orders as Sanusi Bayero cling to Kano emirship. Then this one says 1 year of the Tinubu administration, building a safer, stronger, and prosperous Nigeria. Then renew hope agenda, priority areas. That's the picture story. You can see the priority area economic reforms are for sustained growth. Then you can see something like strengthening national security, boosting agriculture for food security. Then you see something like enhancing infrastructure and transportation, education, health, and social investment. Then innovation, improving governance, I beg your pardon, economic reforms for sustained growth, then unlocking energy and national resources. This looks very juicy, but then when is this hope going to be renewed? Which one are we operating right now? Which of the hopes is being worked on right now? Is it the economy? Is it education? Is it security? Is it agriculture? Is it natural resources? Is it governance? Is it the economic reform? These are some of the questions in the hearts of Nigerians right now that the president is celebrating his 1 year in office. We're not totally saying he has not done anything. He has tried. It's not easy. Nigeria's economy is not something that can be turned around within just a year. But then, what is the footprint saying? That's the big question. And that's going to be the size of the headlines from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll talk about something very important, and that has to do with the 60,000 naira minimum wage, the recent increment. But then Labour is saying, no, we are not accepting that. Are they still holding on to the 100 and something thousand naira? Anthony has said at least 100,000 naira
And
should
above.
be okay. And
Well,
above,
Labour
but
is saying
then
400,
Labour is
over
saying
400.
400, over 400. But then let's see if that will be possible. If that happens, then it means Nigeria is marching to somewhere very juicy. Nigeria becomes the Greenland that everyone looks for. And those that have jackpot will start returning if that happens eventually. All right, let's go on a quick break. We'll return with the big story very soon. Don't go nowhere.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleke.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
It's good to know that you are still there waiting for the big story to come. Here is the big story. Still outnumbered live on your screen, reaching you live and direct from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Nigeria. And of course, we want to talk about the minimum wage. I don't know what's happening. I think the federal government and Labour, because these people don't go to the market, they don't know how negotiations is being done in the market. So they are like trying to exercise their bargaining power as far as the minimum wage is concerned. Give me 100,000. No, I'll give you 48,000. Give me 150,000. No, I will give you 60,000. Well, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. The margin is so small. But then the minimum wage issue, another strike looms again. Is it all about the strike? The strike action, is a yielding result? That's one of the areas we should look at. But then one of the ways that the labor and other unions can actually hold the government accountable for whatever thing they are doing as far as administration is concerned is the strike action. And of course, labor is still saying we are not accepting the recent 60,000 naira that the federal government have said they will make the minimum wage. Look at it from 35,000, they got to 48, from 48 to 58. My colleague said in the studio, he said, oh, come on, what's happening? They are just adding 3,000 to 2,000. Are they selling low-cost bean dada? I don't know what they are selling. Is it Maggi they are selling? I don't know. But then I think the most important thing right here is that what should be done on time so everyone can get back to work. But as it is right now, this increment, do you see it being reasonable enough? It may not be exactly what labor is asking for, is demanding for. And if you ask me, I will say labor is not demanding or asking for too much as far as what government officials take home on a monthly basis. All right, let's get to Antonia. 60,000 naira. You know, you are always, as most times, the women go to the market and are these people trying
Some men
to
too
because
go to the market.
I go to the market, of course,
Okay.
as a matter of fact, but then you guys do it more. Are they trying to exercise or practice how negotiation is being done, how bargaining is being done in the
Ramsey, that's being
marketplace?
sarcastic.
I don't know. Imagine
Earlier when you mentioned it, I
3,000
was like,
naira
what
additional.
manner of sarcasm is this? Anyway, looking at the whole situation, this increment is something the federal government can actually do in one sitting. Why do we have to beat around the bush? Why do they have to do several meetings? From 48,000 naira to 54 to 57, now 60,000 naira. And now even the NLC has come down from 615,000 to 497. Now they are at 494. So they are also playing that card of, okay, you remove 3K, I'll remove 3K. But the federal government is aware. Okay, if they want to say they are not aware, the NLC has brought to their notice the current what is happening in the country as regards the wage salaries of workers and everything that ought to be done. And this is something that they can actually do in a twinkle of an eye because they have all the data in front of them. They have all the statistics. So it's something that can easily be implemented. And then putting 60,000 naira, I beg your pardon, I feel it's not enough. Like I said earlier, 100 and above, yes, we can start from there and subsequently be reviewed. Because the last time the minimum wage was reviewed, it was a long time ago. It's something that ought to be reviewed constantly. With each administration, there ought to be laid down rules to see that this actually is implemented. But when we just leave it to time and chance, sometimes a new administration comes in and that may not be the focus. And now we'll keep moving around in circles and going for meetings and say, okay, let's add 1K tomorrow, let's add 2K. It's not okay.
It's not okay.
at all.
It's not okay at all. Adding 1K, adding 2K. I think she said something very valid. Everyone knows what to do. Why not just do it once and for all? What happens? I think some Nigerians may start suspecting something as if there are things that happens at the negotiation table because maybe people they want them to be coming to the negotiation table so that at least something will be happening, that thing that is happening that we
That's
don't know.
valuable
Would
time
keep
that would have been put into work,
use,
into good use.
See.
We can come to the tables, discuss. Because they pay these monies. They already have it.
They have it. They have the statistics. So, Michael, do you see federal government being reasonable, labor being reasonable, or what do you think about this whole thing?
Let's be realistic, Ramsey. In this country, when federal government increased the price of petrol, they told labor to wait for a living minimum wage. Wait for it. It's a promise by the government. Labor is now saying, okay, let's dialogue and come to this living minimum wage. Let's give an instance. For instance, A family buys bread, which is 2,000 naira. Let's say the family wants to eat that bread 3 times a day. That's 6,000, right? Morning, afternoon, night. Calculate that in 1 month. That's 180,000.
That's just for breakfast.
That's just
No,
for
but he
breakfast.
said morning, afternoon, and night.
Let's
Morning-
say you want to manage to eat bread with your family morning,
Okay.
afternoon, and night. That's what Labour is presenting. The statistics they are giving to federal government. If they eat that, let's say 3 times in a day is 6,000, right? In a month, it becomes 180,000. Let's say they are eating bread. The infinitesimal calculation. Federal government, are you realistic at all? 180,000 for just bread for a family. Imagine if the family decides to eat rice. A bag of rice, 60,000 minimum wage cannot even buy a bag of rice. That's the gospel
Not at all.
truth. And-
Someone told me that a bag of gari
Mm.
is 60,000 naira.
See what I'm saying? So if they
How
buy a
much
bag of
more rice?
How much more
more
rice?
vegetable oil? How much more
And all
school
that.
fees?
Vegetable oil,
transportation to your
non-cholesterol
workplace?
vegetable oil is a no-no right now. It's very, very expensive.
And then your health will also be dragging you. So you end up eating.
So
It's just something
So
else.
if the federal government promised Labour, NLC, TUC, a living minimum wage, they are on negotiation right now. Labour is saying we are not succumbing to this approach of dribbling us with prices. Are we pricing onions or yam in the market from 48, 45, 54, 60? You're adding 6,000. What does that add? It's very, very appalling that the government is doing this. Give them what they want. If someone buys 2,000 and it's 180, come on. How much do you think should be a monthly salary? Give us this living minimum wage that you promised when the price of petrol was increased. And let's end this dialogue.
All right, let's end this dialogue once and for all. Whatever the negotiation is, let it end once and for all. Everyone knows that the government can do this. So the government should just rise to the occasion. If we look at what the political office holders take home on a monthly basis, apart from their allowances, apart from the little money that exchange hands, it is above what Labour is demanding for. But then, looking at the economic situation right now, what Labour is demanding for is just to earn a living and not even for luxury, But then, this is just a necessity that they need to live in a country such as this. Well, let's see what will happen. Strike action looming again. They may go on strike action if anything happens. You can see how Nigerians are even supporting Labour in almost all the strike actions. You see people want to go because everyone is directly or indirectly being affected. But the bottom line is this: let the needful be done. And we are waiting for the second year of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu so we can see what will happen as far as the Renew Hope agenda is concerned. Thank you for having a date, keeping a date with us. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for watching. I beg your pardon. And of course, we will come on your way again, same time, same station, and that's going to be tomorrow. My name is Ramsey Enoch. Do have a beautiful day and happy 1 year in office, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.